What's going on YouTube? Today we've got another review for you guys. This is one that I've been very excited to get in and do a review of. I've been waiting for a really long time. Another pair of Air Max 97s. I couldn't stop thinking about these and I just had to pick them up. Boy, am I glad I did. Today we're going to be looking at the Air Max 97 Ultras Skepta. And here is the box. Quick shot. It's a standard Nike box on top, but on the side it's got this very cool elaborate pattern. And if you look, there's actually quite a bit of detail in here. Our Nike swooshes all throughout, which this pattern actually carries onto the shoe, which I'll show you in a minute. So I got these in an 11.5, and this is my true size. And they actually fit pretty well. And I'll go over the fitment in just a bit, but first I'm gonna get onto the shoe for you guys. So this box here is a pull open, so you just open it up, and here you've got more of that really cool design, right? So it looks awesome. I think it's just a really cool presentation. Take that out. And there's the shoe. 97 Skepta. For those of you who are familiar with 97s, you may have heard of this shoe before. It was a limited shoe. Came out about a little over a year ago, and they sold out pretty much right away. This is basically a little bit of a different take on the 97 Ultra. So you have the regular Air Max 97s, you have the 97 Ultras, and then you have these, which are a little bit different from those, the Ultras. But this is the shoe here, and we'll go over some of the differences between this and your standard 97. There are quite a few of them, because this is actually a collaboration between Nike and the UK grime artist Skepta. And for those of you who aren't really sure what grime is, it's basically a UK hip-hop type of genre. So here's the shoe. It's a very interesting color. It's an iridescent color, so that means basically it changes depending on the lighting that it's in. So a lot of the times it'll be like a goldish kind of copper color, which you can kind of see right now because of the light. But then in other angles, it'll look like a deep purple. It's really, really cool. And let me tell you, when you're out in the sun or under like fluorescent lights, things like that, boy, these things just like look crazy. They almost look like an oil spill. Like if you'd see like oil on the road, you know how it kind of changes colors like that? That's what these remind me of, and I think that's so cool because I've never really seen another pair of shoes like this, and I think that this color looks awesome on this particular style. The underside, what I'll do is I'll just go over all parts of the shoe. I'll start at the top, work my way down, and kind of hit all the different things and kind of show you how these are a little bit different than your standard 97s. So first I'll show you the inside, the insole here. And you can see, well, hopefully you can see it, there's that same pattern that's on the outside of the box and in the wrapping. And what's really cool is if you look close, in that pattern are little Nike swooshes all kind of implemented throughout, which is a really cool touch. I just think that's so cool. You've got SK Air, which actually stands for Skepta Air, since this is the Skepta collab. Which I think is a very cool little touch as well. Up on the top, on the tongue, you've got a little bit more of like a green iridescent Nike emblem type of thing. And you've got on the tongue, it's got like a pretty cool pattern woven into this fabric here. Almost kind of has like a carbon fiber look, which is pretty cool. And if you know me, I'm a big fan of carbon fiber, always have been. So to me, this looks really cool. And you can see that design, it's also right here. So this is actually cloth all throughout here, all the way around the back. Same pattern, nice soft. It's breathable, so this is more breathable than a standard 97, I think. And then all throughout here, you've got your iridescent color. Now, if you know 97s, pretty much every pair I'm aware of, these stripes here are usually done in 3M, which means they're reflective. So like if you have flash from your phone, something like that, they're really gonna pop like under the flash of a camera, or even like just certain lighting, they really give it a cool like reflective look. These ones don't have any 3M on them at all. Instead, they replaced it with the fabric, which I think looks better, to be honest. I think that it really works well for this shoe. Coming around back, you've got your pull tab, and this is different than your standard 97. This is actually going to be a lot thinner, and it's got almost like a weave pattern in the back. You can see it on the tongue there, almost like a braid kind of rope. I think it's really cool, and that also carries down the center as well. And this is different than your standard 97 too. Your standard 97s have two usually leather pieces working their way up the tongue. There's just the single stripe going down with the very cool intricate pattern in it. I think it looks awesome. Then you've got a green little portion right here on the side of the shoe and on the inside. And this also changes color. It doesn't change as much as standard upper, but it does change a little bit. And depending on the light, it can either look green or yellow. I've even kind of seen like a purpley blue tint to it at times. So it's pretty cool. I think it works really well with the rest of the shoe. Moving down to the lower, you've got black all the way around with yellow inside the air unit. Now this particular shoe as well, the air unit is going to be a little bit bigger than a standard 97. These are generally, the Ultras generally have a little bit of a larger air pocket, which I think really works well with the yellow because it really shows off the color a lot more. And the yellow really pops with the shoe. Camera, I'm going to tell you guys right now, any video you see of these shoes, any pictures, online, anything like that will never look as good as these do in person. These things look insane in person. They're probably the coolest looking shoes I've ever owned. I absolutely love these things. Just the way that they change color, it just looks awesome. Moving underneath, you've got a standard 97 Ultra outsole. It's all black. And you've got just the little Nike in yellow there. And that's pretty much it, guys. In terms of comfort, I've gotten to wear these for just about 2 days. I've worn them walking and sitting for pretty much 2 full days. I got these in true to size, for me an 11.5. If you've ever worn Air Max 97s before, you should definitely know they run narrow. The 97 Ultras definitely fit a little more true to size than your standard 97s do. I think true to size is probably good for these. In terms of comfort, they're very comfortable. They're not the most comfortable shoes to me. I still think that Adidas has them beat with their Boost products, but for a Nike Air Max, they're fairly comfortable. I really like them. Now, a couple things I don't really care for about this shoe. You can see right here, the material wrinkles. And now I've seen a lot of pictures of these, and it seems like this is a very common thing for these shoes. It's probably more so just the material. It's not real leather, it's like a, I don't know exactly what it is, like a plasticky type of synthetic material, so it buckles. And I assume that this is going to probably just get worse with time. It's gonna look kind of wrinkly, bubbly. This one hasn't done it yet. You can see it's got a little bit of it. It's not bad, nothing like this one though. And I've only been wearing these, like I said, for 2 days now. And you can see here that there's already some good creasing going on. Right there. Also up top, right where the toe kind of bends here. It's already creasing a fair amount in the material. So, you know, they'll get a little creased up, but I mean, they're shoes, you know, what do you expect, right? They're not meant to just sit on your shelf and be seen by nobody. So, I have no problem with that. I think they're awesome. I'm gonna wear them. If they crease, whatever. I still think they look awesome. Another cool little detail, right on the laces here, you've got little Nike swooshes on the lace tips. I think that's really cool. And they're in yellow, so they match the air unit and the little hit Nike at the bottom. Very cool. This is the very first Nike collab with Skepta. The very first one. It was about a year ago. Since then they've had 2 more. They've had a white and blue and a white and red Air Max Hybrid, which it looks okay to me. It's not my favorite. And then more recently, an Air Max 97 Deluxe in like a static kind of look. To me, I'm not really a big fan of that shoe. I think the sneaker community kind of agrees because resale on that is pretty much non-existent. It wasn't incredibly tough to get. You could still pick them up very easily. They also, to me, the colors are really cool, but I'm not a big fan of the words and the date printed onto the shoe. I think that kind of kills it for me. Plus the overall look of the Deluxe is not my absolute favorite. I think that Nike really knocked it out of the park with these guys. They really stole the show with these. These are going to be very hard to beat, so if they do want to beat these, Skepta's got to step it up, because these guys, in my opinion, are some of the most awesome looking Nikes. That's the shoe, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll have an on foot coming up right after this.